In the Osu game, you guys are probably loving PP, performance points. It's what everyone uses as their currency, especially a USD in Osu game, and people use it to flex on each other. Guys, I have a bigger PP than you, or my PP's higher than you, and then some people are gonna be like, damn, well, I want this new top PP play. I don't know, but PP is a very valuable thing in Osu game, and lately in Osu, there is a meta, just like in real life where there's a money-making meta, like you go work in STEM or something. In Osu game, there's a PP gaining meta. And the PP gaining meta right now is flow aim. It used to be jumps, but now you basically play flow aim and speed, and you can be twerking on Glory Days, Lionheart, Epitaph, and you're gonna get an insane amount of PP, even though those maps aren't even that hard and shouldn't give that much. And as a result of this, a lot of people have been saying, dude, where's the flow aim nerfs? Like, we look at a Kali bed, he be shitting out 1600s, 1700s, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense, right? So this conflict has been blowing around in the community for a bit, and it seems like there is a new proposed PP rework for flow aim. And this PP rework, when I was looking at it, it seems like the main things here is that it nerfs wide angle streams, so essentially like curvy aim, and buffs inconsistent angles. So think of like Made of Fire, we're gonna be doing these weird zigzag streams and shit. Like, that's really hard, while wide angles are like pretty easy. You just draw circles, right? And it also buffs jumps by a little bit. And I just want to give my thoughts about this PP rework really quick. So first of all, just as the case, when you guys look at the top players, like pretty much it's all red, because PP meta has been speed for a while. People are gonna have these flow and speed maps in their tops, and flow aim and speed just gets nerfed to hell with this PP rework because of nerf of wide angle streams. But when you look at it, I kind of look at like a Kali bed, for example. His 1700 gets nerfed to 1500 on sidetrack day, and 1600 getting nerfed to 1500, and like it is pretty respectable nerfs here. Like, they're not small at all, and I kind of feel bad for a Kali bed here. But my first impression when I saw these nerfs, I was like, damn, that's a pretty big nerf. Even though sidetrack day is like, we don't even know if it's overweighted or not, but like for the top players that can play speed, it's a lot of PP, but we don't really know if it's overweighted because only a few people can play it. But this nerf is kind of insane. And then you compare to people that have aim maps in their tops, like White Gat or worse harder player, these guys get buffed by a little bit, while the stream plays get nerfed to hell. So the stream maps get nerfed like 100 PP, while the aim maps get buffed like slightly a little more, so like 20 PP buff instead of like 100 PP buff, which is kind of weird. And I was kind of looking at Cookie Z as well. So Cookie Z, the goat of Choco Mints, is goat of Hidden, and the goat of playing streams. This guy's flow aim plays get nerfed. It's pretty sad. Like, for example, his Demetori Jave Jehovah's map, that map gets freaking nerfed from 997 to like 950, which kind of sucks. And then one of his crazy plays, Hikari, an ARA demon mode flow aim weird map, like it's not even really flow aim, it is the inconsistent angles where it's like zigzags and shit. That map gets nerfed for some reason, which also shows a weird flaw about this rework, where the nerfs and buffs seem pretty inconsistent, particularly the nerfs here. Because if you look at Hikari, it's a very inconsistent angles, like the angles are very sharp, and then sometimes there's going to be some wide angle streams, but these wide angle streams are really hard to play even though they are wide angle stream. And then you also look at another one of Cookie Z's top plays, Made of Fire, which is a huge map with wide angle streams and also a bit of sharp angles. Like, it has a little bit of mix of everything, but for the most part it's known for its weird sharp angles and how difficult it is to aim them and tap them. And that map gets buffed to heck, but Hikari on the other hand gets freaking nerfed. Like, these maps are essentially aim wise are pretty similar, but Made of Fire gets buffed and Hikari gets nerfed. Like, it's a pretty inconsistent thing here. There's no really pattern behind it or no logic like how this PP work is supposed to say. It's supposed to say, okay, we're gonna nerf the flowing because we recognize how freaking OP it is for you to be playing flowing maps, Glory Days, Valve the Quandale playing DT on those, getting 1Ks like crazy. So they're like, okay, let's nerf that a bit, and then let's try to buff aim on the other hand, because aim has been pretty nerfed for the longest time. It's been pretty weak, and I do appreciate the buff to aim here because I think it's pretty good, but I feel like that buff to aim, like, it is pretty good, but I feel like it could be buffed a little more. But the nerfs to flow aim, we were also needing this as well because some maps are actually overweighted. But I do think that these flowing nerfs are pretty inconsistent, first of all, and also they're pretty harsh. Like, these freaking nerfs are pretty insane. Like a 10% nerf, 20% nerf, it's very insane here compared to the aim buffs, and maybe they should look at that. By the way, this rework is proposed, so it's not exactly going to happen 100%, but if this rework does happen, then the flowing meta is essentially going to get absolutely decimated, and we're going to see a bit more of an aim meta come back. But that's kind of my thoughts on this PP work. I thought it was pretty interesting. I don't really know if it's actually going to get implemented or not. It's proposed, so that's the key word there. It's not actually going to happen. And as anyone else who would be curious about their PPs, I looked up my own PP values, and I would lose a lot of my top plays because my top plays do have a bit of these wide angle streams, but the tapping part of it's pretty hard to do. So I'm like, okay, well, I get nerfed a lot. That kind of sucks. So personally, I don't really like the rework that much, but some of my rare aim plays, like the Rockefeller Street play, gets buffed to like 500, which I'm like, that map does not deserve 500. I don't really now. Maybe I'm just biased here, but I don't really like this rework personally. If you guys are curious about your own PP value changes, I'll link the calculator down below in the description so you can check that out. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video, and I'll see y'all.